Hello and welcome back to this week's Mindful Monday Making Art. If you are new here, I will explain what's going on. First, we begin with a brief and easy yoga practice. Then we move on to a meditation, and finally we end with some creative playtime. Each week is around a theme, and 2 weeks ago we began our series on the chakras. So 2 weeks ago, last time we were together for Mondays, we did the focused on the root chakra, and this week we're moving up into the sacral chakra, which is located just about a hand's width below the belly button, here in the lower abdomen. The organs that are influenced by this chakra are most of the organs that are down here in our lower pelvis, our kidneys, our bladder, our reproductive organs, and in the back, our low back and sciatic nerve, those types of things. So those are what we're going to focus on in both our yoga practice and in our meditation, and then take that influence and inspiration onto our art practice, our art play time, if you will. The color associated with the root chakra is orange. It is said to be a 6-petaled orange lotus. It is said to be the dwelling place of the self. It is our place of where our personal expression, our creativity, our passions, all of that is influenced by our sacral chakra. It gives us a sense, when it's healthy and open, it gives us an overall sense of joy and passion and interest in the world. So let's begin our practice. We're going to begin seated. And like the root chakra practice, this is also a practice I'm going to be doing seated on the floor. Most of today's poses are going to be a little trickier to do if you're in a chair, but this is something I'm going to tell you about yoga overall, that you meet yourself on your mat where you are today, and you give yourself permission to do what you can and leave the rest put the rest aside. So if there is a pose or something that isn't serving you today, then just let it go. And also, our mind is an extremely powerful organ in our body and has a lot of influence. So even if you cannot get down on the floor and do the poses as I demonstrate them and lead you through them, if you close your eyes and imagine yourself doing the poses, see in your mind your body able to get down on the floor, able to do these poses, then in a way, energetically, you are getting the same benefit as if you were doing them physically. So let's begin. Find yourself into a comfortable seated position. Once again, I have my bolster beneath my seat just to raise me up a little bit. That's just more comfortable. The cushioning is a little easier on my knees. So a pillow, a rolled up blanket, if you don't have a yoga bolster, can really help with some of the seated poses as well. I want us to begin one hand on our chest here and one hand on our low belly, right below the belly button. And we're just going to do some belly breaths. Very relaxed, don't force anything, don't push yourself. No need, just, it's more of an awareness of the breath, and then as the breath begins to move, space will open up, okay? If you'd like to close your eyes for the breath part of the practice, go right ahead if that makes you feel comfortable. So we're just going to begin, I like to close my eyes so I can really focus on my breath and on how it moves through my body. And before we do anything, just feel the breath as it comes in and out. And very gently begin to focus on the low belly, expanding that with the inhale, and exhale, letting it come back in toward the spine. keeping the spine neutral. Let's do 2 more full breaths. One more. Release the hands, open the eyes. Take another just neutral big breath. Let it out. As usual, I'm going to begin the class, or the yoga time here, with some upper body stretches and openers, because we are crafters and artists here, and we tend to, at least I do, hold a lot of tension here, and when we're sewing, when we're stitching, when we're knitting, when we're spinning, we can get tight and kind of aggravated and inflamed up here. So I like to start this with some shoulder openers and stretches. I've also been doing some very small things with my hands, and my hands have gotten a little, I've gotten a little T-Rexy lately. So let's begin by bringing our right hand forward and taking our palm of our other hand, fingers of our other hand, and just gently drawing that back, down and back, opening the wrist. Keep those shoulders down and back. And we're going to turn this over and do the same here. Pressing the palm of the straight arm forward. If you have carpal tunnel issues, be very gentle with yourself here, or skip this one if it's too much. And then we're going to do the other arm. Straighten that arm out. Draw those fingers back toward the elbow. Turn them over. And let them out. It's good to shake them out. Now we're going to bring this right arm straight. Bring the left arm under it, crossing under, and bending the left elbow and drawing it across the body. Keep the head over the spine. And then we're going to switch sides, so the left arm is straight, the right arm bends underneath. And release. Do some little shoulder rolls. Sometimes that big stretches in the back of the shoulders can be a little much, especially if you're like me and you spend a lot of time shrimped over your work. On that note, go back a week or two on the Thursdays and I showed you how to make a craft pillow so you bring your arms up instead of your head forward. I've been using it since I made it, and it's changed my stitching quite a bit, my body. A little self-promotion. Okay, let's go on with some more yoga here. We're going to now get off our blanket or our bolster and just set that aside. And I forgot to say at the beginning of class, but get, for one of the moves, some kind of block or firm bolster would work as well. Please disregard the cat bites on mine. But a yoga block is a nice thing to have if you're doing a lot of yoga, because there's a lot of modifications you can use it for. But let's bring ourselves to our mats, onto our back. Find yourself a comfortable place here, and then we're going to draw the knees toward the chest, bring the hands to the knees, And do some nice circles around and around, really massaging that low back against the floor. There's your circle if you'd like. And bring the knees to the chest. Squeeze. And then inhale, let the knees go away from the chest. Exhale. Let's do 5 breaths total here. One more. And let the feet come down to the floor, right in front of the hips, as close to your bottom as you can get them. Have your block handy. A big, thick paperback book will work. Any kind of big, thick book will work as well if you don't have a block. And we're going to do dynamic bridge, which means we're going to move in and out of bridge, and then we're going to do a supported bridge. So we're going to have our feet as close to our body as we can, toes pointing forward. Inhale, lift the hips and bring the arms overhead and come back down. Inhale and come back down. 3, 4, and on the 5th one, we're going to get our hands on our block. We're going to come up. You don't need to bring your arms up for this one. Lift the hips. Your block has 3 heights: tall, medium, and short. I'm going to go medium, but you can always go short. You're going to lift those hips, bring the block right under your pelvis, across the low back. And the hands could come down to the side, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chest. I'm just going to breathe here and really feel the support of the block against your sacrum. Two more breaths here. And then lift the hips, move the block out of the way. You can lift your heels off the floor if you'd like, and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, bring your spine back to the floor. Back to the floor, walk your feet out a little wider and windshield wipe your knees back and forth. We're going to draw the knees back to the chest and use your left hand to draw your knees to the left. Focus in the way. Open that right arm out to the side. Twist. You can also turn your head. Breathing into the twist. Release, bring those knees back to chest. Let them come to the other side. Opening that left arm out, turning the head. Release, come back to center. Maybe a few more little circles with the hips. Lift your feet toward the sky. Grab your toes. Draw those knees toward the armpits and rock back and forth. This is happy baby. And you're going to release, bring the feet to the floor. And slowly come back up to seated. And then bring the soles of the feet together here and draw them to the body as close as is comfortable. Don't force yourself. And if this is too much, especially in the inner leg, groin area, if you've got 2 blocks, I will have 1 today, but you could put a block or a folded towel or blanket under your knees to support your legs. That actually feels really good. It's if you're feeling too much pull here. And clasp your feet with your hands. Draw that chest up. Spine is long. And just come forward, keeping the spine long. Just keep keeping the spine straight, leading with the heart, leading with the chest toward the feet. And you don't have to go far. You're just coming as far as is comfortable. Release, breathing coming up, releasing the hands. Use the hands to support bringing your knees back together. And come back to a comfortable seated position. We're going to end back with our belly breath. Again, close your eyes if you're comfortable. Just noticing that breath coming in and out, expanding the belly like a balloon. One more big breath. And release the hands, open the eyes. That's the completion of our Sacral Chakra yoga class for today. And so now I invite you to enter Shavasana, lying on your back, here on your mat, or get into a comfortable seated position for meditation, whichever works best for you. And we will progress into our time for meditation.
Welcome to the Sacral Chakra guided meditation. In this meditation, we will be directing healing energy to our sacral chakra through visualization practices and positive affirmations. Let's now begin by finding a comfortable place to either sit or lie down. Bring all your awareness and attention to your breathing. Notice how your body moves with each breath. Inhale and exhale, slow and gentle. Feel your chest and stomach expand as you breathe in and relax as you breathe out. Breathe in and out 5 times. Now begin to take longer and deeper breaths in through your nose, noticing how the air feels inside the nostrils, perhaps noticing its temperature. Feel the air against your throat and notice how it feels as you breathe out through your mouth. Reconnect with your body. Feel the points of contact with the surface beneath you. Notice the support it provides. With each breath, allow yourself to sink a little deeper into this support. As you tune into these sensations, let go of any tension or discomfort. Allow yourself to fully relax into the present moment. Now let's bring our attention to our sacral chakra. Visualize a warm orange light in your lower abdomen, just below the navel where your sacral chakra is located. With each breath, allow this light to grow brighter and more vibrant. With each exhale, release any remnants of darkness or negativity, allowing them to dissolve into the ether. As the light continues to grow brighter and more vibrant with each cycle of breath, sense its transformative power, infusing you with vitality and renewal. Feel the sacral chakra energy pulsating and radiating throughout your lower belly. With each breath, allow this light to grow brighter and more vibrant, filling your entire pelvic area with its healing energy. As you continue to breathe deeply, imagine the energy of your sacral chakra stirring, awakening like a gentle stream flowing through your body. Feel its soothing presence, washing away stagnant or blocked energy, allowing your creative and emotional energy to flow freely. Embrace the sensations of warmth and vitality as your sacral chakra comes into balance. With each inhale, visualize drawing in creativity, passion, and pleasure from the universe. Allow positive energies to nourish and inspire your sacral chakra. With each exhale, release any feelings of guilt, shame, or inhibition that may be hindering your self-expression and enjoyment of life. Let go of any emotional baggage or limiting beliefs that no longer serve you. Bring your attention to any areas of tension or resistance you may be feeling in your sacral chakra. Without judgment or resistance, simply observe these sensations and breathe into them with compassion and acceptance. Visualize the healing light of your sacral chakra gently dissolving any barriers or blockages, allowing the energy to flow freely and unobstructed. Take a few moments to bask in the warmth and radiance of your sacral chakra, feeling grateful for the vitality and creativity that resides within you. Allow yourself to be filled with a sense of deep gratitude and appreciation for the gift of life and all of its pleasures. When you feel ready, gently bring your awareness back to your physical body. Wiggle your fingers and toes, slowly reawakening your senses. Take a final deep breath, and when you are ready, gently open your eyes. Know that you can return to this sacral chakra meditation whenever you feel the need to reconnect with your creative and sensual energy. Trust in the power of your sacral chakra to guide you on your journey towards self-expression, fulfillment, and joy. Give thanks to the universe and to yourself for taking this time to connect with your sacral chakra.
Here we are, ready to explore some playtime with the theme of the root or the sacral chakra. I'm going to confess right now, this was a challenge for me because if there's one color I tend to avoid in garment construction, quilting, decorating, wearing, using in general, it would be orange. It is not my color. So I had a little challenge digging through my scraps and my supplies to find enough around root chakra. But we're going to go with it. We're going to make it work. And we're going to talk about working with things that might be a little more challenging. So this is what I found, the best I could do. And we'll see where we go with it. Actually, it looks like a lot, but some of these are actual like fat quarters and yardage of quilt fabric and things. So what am I going to start with? And if you're doing this and you're like me and orange is not your thing, go ahead and work with something else. That's okay. Maybe during the meditation or the yoga practice or just this morning when you got up and had your breakfast, something else sparked in you what you want to work on today. Let's go for it. First, I need to find something to use as my foundation fabric. Maybe this piece of linen, or maybe just one of my pieces of orange. Let's just go with this orange hand dye. I'm going to rip fabric. I also don't think I want to work quite as big today. I'm going to start there. Okay, so I have a bunch of tiny scraps that I found. This is actually a piece of silk that I think I dyed with onion skin. It's kind of pretty. Okay, I'm just going to start putting things down and see where it goes from there. I also have from last week, 2 weeks ago, my round cookie cutters in case I want to cut any circles. But I don't know. I have circles on some of these fabrics. Maybe I'll just use those as my inspiration circles. This one I've had in my stash for a while. And it came to mind when I started thinking about this video. So I'm just going to cut one of these orange. And I found these, I don't know where, this must have been a thrift store find, these little orange pom-pom trim. Who knows where we're going to go? Interesting that those are the same size, completely different fabrics from two different sources. Okay. I have these leaves, fall leaves. I don't know if I want a leaf necessarily, but I might use some bits of that as something. Silk in here somewhere. Will it rip? No, I didn't think it would. So I have this gold leaf. I don't know if this is silk or poly. It was in a bundle. It's kind of a weird. See how the needle. Yeah, needle goes through it okay. Hmm. I'm going to start there. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna baste. Okay. If I get this guy down, it will hold almost everything. Question is, how do I want to get it, put it down? Here's another pin. Okay, I have a question for all y'all regarding these videos in particular. Do you prefer if during this segment I just sit and stitch and put some music over it all, and you can just sit and stitch along with me? Or would you rather I talk about whatever? I can't guarantee no matter what you say that I'll do either one, but I do like feedback. I'm not trying to be nonchalant about the feedback. I am still trying to figure out what is going to work best for my audience and keep you coming back for more. And while you're here, enjoying yourself. So I will take kind, considerate feedback and constructive criticism all day long, if you've got some for me. It's that little piece of silk just wants to go away, not be where he's supposed to be. Come on, go under there before I stitch. Yeah. Maybe it's telling me it doesn't want to be there. I want it there. Okay, come on. So I'm going to try in this video to do a little bit of both, and we'll see what you think, what you have to say. Please say something. I'm not begging, but I am begging. But I am going to talk a little bit about this sacral chakra and my own experiences with it, because that's the only thing I have to share. It's, I can't share other people's stories, or you can Google and read about, the root chakra if you want. Okay, maybe I should have basted. But my own experiences, I keep saying root, I'm sorry, I mean sacral. In preparing for this video, I spent a lot of time in meditation, a lot of time reading through some of my yoga texts and my different resources that I have, and still struggled. I mean, the core basics, those are, but I like to bring my own self into my videos and into my artwork. So I was struggling a little bit because I always have struggled with this, even before I knew anything about chakras, part of my being, I guess you could say. And physically and energetically, I've realized over time and through lots of meditation, like I said, and other work that I've done. And so I almost was going to do, when I was searching for materials, I just kept being, well, one, like I said, I didn't think I had a lot of orange, but I managed to find enough. But I was drawn to like black. And of course, I didn't really want to use black in this, black and orange, because then it would look like a Halloween decoration instead of what I'm aiming for here, which is a study of, what does this practice bring to my artwork, bring to my creativity. And the root chakra is the seat of our creativity, in our passions, in that part of our being, and our sense of self. But in my personal experiences through life, I've had a lot of physical issues with this part of my body. I dealt with serious endometriosis from puberty on, and struggled with that and dealt with that, which ultimately at one point led to issues with infertility and just overall issues with that whole womanhood, and I don't know how to put it into words that are not uncomfortable words. So that was one of it. And then I also have had problems over the years with sciatica and low back pain, rearing its ugly head at the most inopportune times, and that's really one of the things that led me to yoga years ago, was my lower back issues and hip issues, trying to find physical relief for that. And then in the recent past, I started having issues with kidney stones. So my body, listen to your body. It tells you what it needs and what its messages are, if you're not listening to the other parts of it. And also, if you've been with me for a while, I've been pretty open about my mood disorders and mental health issues. So that is also part of the sacral chakra. Got it right this time. And so in researching again, going back to things that, how I wanted to present this week, it reminded me of all that I knew at one point but had forgotten, or had let go by the wayside, if you will. And I think I started to say that when I was looking for fabrics and things to use, I was really drawn to black, like just because I felt a void, a dark hole of nothingness whenever I meditated on my sacral chakra, which is a strong indicator that maybe some work needs to be done in that area, both physically and energetically. So I got to work. And again, I won't go into the personal details too much, but it was enlightening to me to realize when I really started thinking about my history with reproductive issues, and going from severe endometriosis, a number of surgeries, infertility, having children, having daughters who coincidentally also have had similar issues in that neighborhood, to ultimately having a hysterectomy when I was 39 or 40. And so, yeah, I just always felt like there was this, or at least not always, but currently felt like that a dark nothingness. I could not get in touch with that part of my physical or energetic being. And the fact that I hate orange. Hate might be a strong word. Orange zinnias are one of my favorite, like summer. They just, of all the zinnia colors, I really love the orange ones. And so and then I love, monarch butterflies and all the, so I don't hate orange, but it's just not my color. And I wonder if maybe my resistance to orange could be related to my issues with that whole part of my being. I don't know. All right, I still have thread on here. And it's coming up here. There is, excuse me, my throat. There is a playlist I have begun on the channel here for these Mindful Mondays, so they will be easy for you to go back and find, or if you're just joining us, you can go back and revisit one that you've done, or catch up if you'd like. So look for that. I will also link either here in a card somewhere here, or in the description, the last one that we did, the previous one we did, the root chakra, so that if you want to go in order from root to crown, which you don't have to, it's your practice, you do it any way you want, but I suggest that it's a good way to go about it. Oops, got that caught, pulled it too tight. I don't know if my, okay, there we go. Speaking of the last in the series, for those of you who may have missed it, I kept meaning to come back and add to this, and I haven't yet. I have these buttons. So this is the one I did for root, and I want to sew those buttons there. I want to add more stitching. I've just been working on other projects and haven't come back. So that's perfectly acceptable of a way of working as well. Just kind of get some ideas down, and maybe some other inspiration will come along after you've want to revisit it later. Where's my other orange thread? There it is. Oh, that's an idea. Did make this little, what if I make a little poof, a little yo-yo out of that. I didn't bring a pencil over here though to draw it. Let's see, it says I want it as big as possible. Like that. Maybe even one bigger than that one will fit. I haven't made cookies or biscuits with these in a long time, but they've come in really handy in the sewing room. Yeah, that one. Let me find a pencil. Erasable marker, whatever I've got here. Maybe if I try to... The matte side's kind of cool looking too, but I like the shiny. Good enough. Okay. Someone tell me, oh, there it is. What I did with my needle. Okay. Again, normally if I were making made these last time, I would turn this raw edge under, but I'm not going to. It might automatically when I draw it together, but as I had hoped when I started this series and started this, that it would lead to inspiration elsewhere or in addition to what I'm doing here. And it has. I haven't taken action because I'm still working on some other projects that need to get finished. But I kind of wished I had started at least this chakra series a little differently, that I had started it as a meditation scroll and just do a section every week that we get together. And so then I can unroll it and have all the chakras together in one meditation scroll. But I didn't think of that until I was meditating on this week's project. But it did kind of inspire me. I started a small meditation, another one the other day, sitting, because I was bored with the current projects I was working on, but I didn't want to start anything else bigger. So I just grabbed all my little scraps that happened to be in the basket next to me and some thread and started making a little meditation scroll. And that's kind of where the idea came to me. Furthered my inspiration. Yeah, see, I'm just gonna pull that up and leave the raw edges there because I don't know what I'm gonna do to it. Put it face down maybe instead of face up. A couple little stitches. So if you're just beginning this with me, and that's an idea that appeals to you, that could be something you could try. I was going to do some other mini projects anyway, maybe for my Thursdays video. But anyway, there's an idea for you if you need one. Well, like I've said so far over and over again a number of times, and probably by the time we're a few months into this, I will have said it so many times you'll be sick of it, that this isn't about the end product that we're making, it's about the process. And that's exactly what it's supposed to do, or hopes to do, is to spark other ideas that you can take into your work elsewhere. Oops. So, yeah. Don't think I have any orange buttons to attach that like I did the other one, but we'll see what ends up. Ooh. There's an idea. All right, well, we're going to set that aside now and come back to it after everything else is stitched down. I'm going to continue to do this running stitch all the way around here and bring it into a spiral in the center. But I'm going to stop my camera and pause my camera while I do that, and I'll come back and show you for one of two reasons. One, the video will be way too long if I just sit here and stitch, and too long for you to watch, too long for me to edit. And two, my camera is still having an issue where the battery gets too hot and it shuts down randomly. So I'm going to give it a little breather here because it did it just a few minutes ago when I was making that puff. So I switched out the battery, and I've got to figure out why it's doing that, or switch back to using a different camera, which I don't want to do. And anyway, so let me pause the camera, stitch for a bit, and then I'll move on to the next section. And you keep stitching. Well, I'm not going to make you wait with black screen until I come back, but yeah, be back with you in a moment. And there we are. I'm just going to finish up the last stitch. Oops. Well, that was supposed to be, there we go. The last stitch of that spiral, spiraling in, spiraling back out. Thread in there. I don't think I want to put that on there now. It's not there. Maybe somewhere else. Maybe to make that leaf look less leafy. I don't know. We'll see. Still have the orange pom-pom too. I don't hate that idea. It's weird, but that's okay. Like a button on a clown suit, but you know, again, it's not the end of the world. It's interesting. Just jammed myself with a needle, but that happens. To me, it happens all the time. For me, I think this week's project is twofold. I mean, like I said, I've spent a lot of time challenging. Mediums, things that would be painting. back here either next Thursday for one of my regular creative vlog type